My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all! So, this is the third in a string of videos that account for the final reckoning. I'm trying to reckon with everything that I have had in purgatory for the past couple of months, everything that's left in purgatory. And I decided that in order to do that, I would need to start a backup box. So it's a relatively reasonably sized box of things that I know that I do want to try. So I'm keeping them in the reckoning, like I'm sort of deciding to pass them through the purgatory box and into a keep status. But I'm keeping them to try later. And then I might either reckon with them again and decide not to keep them or declutter them. In any case, some of these things will be going into rotation, like I'm going to keep them and keep using them or start using them. Some of them will go into the backup box where they will prepare to be tried later on. And then some of them will be given away. Until this moment, I was moving through purgatory at a fast clip, and I had pretty much cleared this box in the first two videos, and I thought I was just going to have one more video and it would be a 3-part final reckoning. What happened, as you will observe if you just watched the first two videos, is that suddenly this box got over full again, and that was because I went through my bathroom and I realized that there are a bunch of products in my bathroom, like on my bathroom shelf and in the shower, that are technically in purgatory, but they don't live in the purgatory box because the purgatory box is out here and I use them when I'm in the shower or in the bathroom. So I pulled all of the things that were in bathroom purgatory out of the bathroom and put them in this box, and it added up to quite a lot. And there are a number of them actually that I have been testing and that I know my feelings on, and not all of them are going to make it through the reckoning. So this will probably be the third of 4 videos, if we're lucky. That's what I'm keeping my fingers crossed at this point. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. So I realized that I needed to sort some of what was in the purgatory box into groups. And it was my extremely overlarge current group of second cleansers that made me realize that I needed to do that. And then when I actually separated them out, I was flabbergasted at how many there are. This is madness. And I should say that I am more inclined to keep bath and body products like this and like cleansing, even face cleansers, skincare cleansers. This kind of skincare, I'm more inclined to keep because even if it's not the best of the best, even if it's not my favorite, I can still use it. And if it's usable, I can use it and I will use it up. So unlike makeup, for example, if I keep a lipstick, that's just going to add one more lipstick to my lipstick collection for potentially years. Like it's not like I'm going to keep it and then use up that lipstick. When I keep a lipstick, it's a decision to add one more. When I keep a cleanser, it's basically just me saying, this is serviceable enough that I can use it. It can be the one that I use for the time being, and then I can use it up and I won't have had to buy a cleanser. I won't have had to buy another cleanser during the entire length of time that it lasted for me. So that's part of why there are so many of these. I've been a little bit less judicious about accepting them to test. And I definitely think that I'll keep more than just the one. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like this insane obsession with whittling this collection down, because in theory, I could keep using all of these and then they would last me like over a year. I mean, they'll last me forever. Then I won't have to buy a second cleanser. And in theory, that would be great. But just for me, for my little minimal soul, this is too much to have at one time. And I also suspect that second cleanser type products won't stop entering my life next year. Hopefully there will be a pretty mediated stream of stuff into my life, but I could see myself getting another 1 or 2 in PR or as a gift from Simbri or something like that. On top of which, if I run out of second cleanser, I can just buy one myself with my budget. It's not like the most precious or expensive type of thing. I can buy an inexpensive one. I can buy a big bottle that will last for a really long time. So I don't want this many. Even though all of these are serviceable, I don't want this many. I need to go through and decide which ones I'm going to get the best and happiest use out of and then give the other ones away. So this is the one that I've been using the most consistently. With all of these at my disposal, I've been reaching for this one the most. This is one that Simbri gave me. It was PR that she received and she passed it along. So it's Instant Naturals Vitamin C Cleanser. And it's basically just, like a liquid soap cleanser that's very gentle but very effective. after I've oil cleansed, when I use this, I feel like it's doing a crack job. And I also feel like it does good things for my skin. I don't think that vitamin C belongs in a cleanser. Like, I don't consider myself to be getting vitamin C benefits from this cleanser because it's only on my face for a short period of time and then I wash it down the drain. So in that way, I have a philosophical difference with this cleanser. I don't like that claim, and I don't like that it's trying to push the idea that cleansing with vitamin C is a good idea. I just am not on board for that. But it's working really well, and I think that one of the reasons I'm reaching for it a lot is that I like the delivery method. I really like having a second cleanser in a pump bottle in my shower, and I can pump out just a little bit at a time. I only need a little bit at a time because a little bit goes a really long way, and it makes a nice, nourishing lather. So all in all, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of using it. I'm definitely going to keep it. I think when I looked it up, I saw that it's not too expensive. Like, it's not on the uber pricey side. It's not like they're trying to sell you this vitamin C in a cleanser for $100 or something. It might be one that I could look at buying again in the future if I go through this bottle and I continue enjoying using it. It's just really serviceable. This is one that I didn't like. So this was sent to me by Amore Pacific, and it's their treatment cleansing foam. So it comes out, I don't really want to squeeze it out right now, but it's a cream that foams a lot. Like, it comes out in a really thick cream, and it has those little like blue dots in it that are supposed to, I think, burst and have some kind of effect. Amore Pacific is a very expensive skincare brand, and they always have these highfalutin claims about what their skincare will do. And every time I've tried a product of theirs, I've just been disappointed in it. I've never really loved anything from Amore Pacific, and I've actually had the chance to try a number of products of theirs through Octoly, but I don't really like the fact that this feels so creamy and thick, and it also foams up so much. It just feels like it has a lot of nasty artificial ingredients in it. And to be totally honest, when I read the ingredients lists of Amore Pacific products, I'm never that impressed by them either. So this is like it's like a tactily beefy product. I have a feeling that one of my cousins might enjoy using it. They might enjoy like that thick, creamy foam. But for me, it just reminds me of stuff that I used to use, like from the drugstore when I was in high school, and I just think back on it and I think it was probably like really stripping to my skin. And back when I didn't have that many second cleanses, when I didn't have this many, I was gonna keep this. It was good enough to work for me. I was just sticking with it because I was like, it's fine for now. At least it's working. I don't love it, but it's working. So that was how committed I was to just like using what I just happened to have, even though I didn't love it. But in the face of all of these, I feel like I can give in to the fact that I don't like using this product. So I'm going to give it away. This is another one that I don't really like using, and that also kind of reminds me of stripping drugstore products of my youth. It's a Clarisonic brand cleanser, and it came in a box with the Clarisonic that I'm currently using, which was a gift from Clarisonic through Octoly. So they sent me the Clarisonic and they sent this along with it. And it is a skin renewing peel treatment, or so they say. It is a glycolic cleanser, which meant that I thought that I would really like it because there's glycolic acid in the cleanser that I was using before, the Mario Badescu one, and I felt like that was really the ticket for me. I felt like glycolic acid in my cleanser was something I really wanted. So I was feeling like this might be a good replacement for that one when I finished using it, etc., etc. These days, my skin isn't acting up as much in terms of blemishes, and I'm starting to feel like what I want in a second cleanser is just something really gentle and straightforward. And I want all of my active ingredients to be in my serums and oils and toners. So I'm going to give this away, possibly to a cousin who struggles with acne herself, maybe to someone else, we'll see. I think it's a decent cleanser. It just doesn't stack up against some of these gentler and easier to use ones for me. This one I've really been enjoying. So this is by Leaf People. And when I looked up the ingredients of this one, I was very impressed. It seems like it's really well formulated, really lovely, and it's a gently exfoliating face wash. So I don't use this every single day when I wash my face, but sometimes if I do feel like I can use a little bit of gentle exfoliation, I'll oil cleanse my face and then I'll use this as my second cleanse. And it's gentle enough that I can rub it onto my eyes and into my eyes, and then I can get some of that grainy stuff and sort of exfoliate my cheeks a little bit more aggressively. I feel like aggressive is a bit aggressive of a word for what I do with this. It's more just that I use it to get a really good deep cleanse a couple of days a week, maybe twice a week. I use this instead of one of these other second cleansers. Simbri also gave this to me, and I am going to keep this. I think I'll definitely be able to use up this little bottle. This is totally hilarious. This is a product called Perfect Tiger Foam, and actually it came to me in a very beautiful way. There is the cutest shop in downtown Los Angeles in the Garment District, which is a district that I visit on an almost weekly basis because part of my work for my clothing business is that I have to source the fabrics that I use to make the clothes. So about once a week, I go for a walk in the Garment District in downtown Los Angeles. Most of the shops there are fabric shops and trim shops. So I make my rounds, I duck into all the fabric shops and trim shops, and I get what I need for that week. And every time I walk past this shop called Urbanique, and I took a picture the last time I went there of the window so that you guys can see why it was so alluring to me. I've just wanted to go in for ages because it just looks so cute and perfect, and it's just gorgeous, and the signage was right up my alley. So last month I was on one of my fabric sourcing missions, and I had a little bit of spare time, and I ducked into Urbanique, and it proved to be the cutest. It's just the cutest, and the women who work there are adorable. It's a very carefully curated set of products, most of which are K-Beauty and J-Beauty products, and then there's also clothes and handbags, just a bunch of really, really, really cute and unique stuff. And my mind basically exploded. I was just like, I can't believe that this gorgeous little unique beauty shop is so close to where I live. I didn't end up buying anything on that visit. I'm on a strict budget for beauty products, and it was a bit much for me to think about actually making a buying decision in that moment. But I did chat a good bit with the girls who work there, and they found out that I have a YouTube channel, and then they ended up giving me a little box that they've been giving to influencers, and they're products that they don't carry yet, I don't think, at Urbanique, but they're considering carrying, and they're just looking for feedback about whether people think that they are good enough products for them to carry in their shop. So inside the box that they gave me was this, and I opened it. It doesn't say what it is in English. The only English words are Noter, Perfect Tiger Foam, Aqua Brightening Calming, and that's all. I assume that it's a cleanser. I assume that it's a face cleanser. That is my assumption. I looked it up online. I couldn't find anything. If you know whether Perfect Tiger Foam is a face cleanser or not, please tell me. I will ask the people at Urbanique, but as of this moment, I don't know what this is. But it's in this group because I think that that's what it is. And what I'm going to do with this is to put it in my backup box. I haven't opened it yet, and I don't want to open a second cleanser right now. I don't need another second cleanser in rotation. So I'm going to put it in my backup box. I'm going to find out what it is, and if it is indeed a second cleanser, I will open it and try it when I'm running low on some of these other products. If you are ever in downtown LA in the Garment District, you must stop off at Urbanique. It is an experience not to be missed. So there are these three left, and I'll remind you that these are the only two that I've kept so far on the side. And I think that I could stand to at least keep one more. I'm going to keep this one. Simbri has given me these two foaming cleansers, like they puff out in a foam. This one from Canna Bliss I thought I would really like, and it just feels a little bit drying. It's a little bit gentle. It's gentle-ish, but I just haven't loved using it. Again, it's a situation where if I didn't have so many, I would totally keep it because it's serviceable. But because I do have so many, and I would be fine with buying my own if I ended up running out, I think I'm going to go ahead and give that one away. There's probably someone who needs it more than I do. This one, which is an Esthederm Paris cleanser that's also a foam, it feels a little bit beefier and more nourishing, and it's supposed to be brightening youth cleansing foam. I love a brightening product. I love anything that brightens dark spots. I'm kind of into using this. I enjoy it. I enjoy the process of using it, and I don't know if it really does any brightening work. Again, I don't tend to invest high hopes for transformation of my skin into cleansing products. I will put it in the backup box. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in the backup box. I don't need it in the shower right now. I don't need it in there because this one is in there. Finally, I've been saving this one for last because it's kind of like a hard decision, I feel. This is again from Amore Pacific. It's the Treatment Enzyme Peel Cleansing Powder. So it's again supposed to be like brightening, exfoliating, all of this stuff. It comes in a powder form. It's really unusual. So you dump out a little mound of powder, and then you wet that powder and it lathers up into like a creamy lather. And I have to say, the creamy lather feels exactly like the creamy lather that you get with this product. indistinguishable. It seems like they're exactly the same. They smell the same, they feel the same. I feel like they do the same thing. But for some reason, probably because of the enzyme peel claims on this one, I have used this more. I just don't love it. I just don't. I feel like it doesn't show me any effects. It's cleansing, like it's cleansing my skin perfectly fine. I just don't cherish using it. I don't feel excited about it. And all in all, this brand has disappointed me. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this away. So that's great. We're putting 2 back into rotation. These are my 2 favorites. We're putting 2 into the backup box and I'll be testing them in the future. And we're giving 4 away. Very pleased with my progress here on cleansers. Let's talk about oil type cleansers. Oh, this isn't an oil type cleanser, but this is the other product. There were 2 products in the box that Urbanique gave to me. This is a hair and body wash, mild and gentle hair and body wash by this brand called MIHYS 35. And I have tried this on my body a couple of times. It is exactly what it says it is, an incredibly gentle, just cleansing wash. Really lovely, incredibly light, almost non-existent scent. It's almost like using a baby shampoo. Like that's how I feel. I feel like I'm using a baby shampoo to wash my face and body when I use this. Not my face, I'm sorry, to wash my body. I haven't tried it in my hair yet. I'll try to work up the courage to do that at least one time before I run out of this bottle, because what I am going to do is just keep this in my bath, use it as my go-to gentle basic soap that will help me to make my fancy scrubs and stuff last longer. I would like to reach for this most of the time and then to reach for my House of Glory soaps, for example, just every once in a while when I'm feeling like I need it to be a special day. So this is a really nice staple to be testing out. I'm going to keep on using this. Here are 3 oil type cleansers that I have going on right now, and this is the only one that is like the real deal. Like this is the kind of oil cleanser that I can really make good use out of, the kind of thing that I like to buy when I'm buying my own first cleanser. This is by Primera and it is just their oil cleanser. It says it's got 7 seeds in it. And the seeds are safflower seed oil, grapeseed oil, meadow foam seed oil, rapeseed oil, plum seed oil, passion flower seed oil, and raspberry seed oil. And I love this. It's probably going to go quite fast. I'm trying so hard to use just 1 pump, maybe 1.5 pumps every time I cleanse my skin. Still, I could see it going pretty fast. So I'm going to try to conserve it, but this is ideal for me. These 2 are a little bit less ideal. So this is a Yangu Beauty Gel to Milk Cleanser. It's definitely supposed to be an oil cleanser, soothing natural oil cleanser, and it's definitely oil based enough to get like my mascara off, for example. So when I don't have something else going on, I've been reaching for this as my first cleanser and it's been perfectly fine. It does leave a bit of a film. It definitely comes out as very much a gel, and it works, and then it just leaves a bit of a film. So I like it enough to use it, to keep it, and to keep it as something that's serviceable. But I don't love it so much that I didn't spring at the chance to try this one from Primera. This was in my Octoly free store, by the way. That was how I acquired this. They sent it to me through Octoly. And Simbri gave this one to me. So I'm gonna keep both of these. This one's great. This one works in a pinch. And I go through first cleansers so quickly that it's worth it to me to have both kinds. This is like too fancy for me to use as a first cleanse. This is the Spoiled Bee Honey Cleansing Balm. How cute is that name for a skincare brand, the Spoiled Bee? And I haven't really been using this as a cleansing balm, partly because, again, it's so nice. It's in this gorgeous glass jar, and it's like a really gorgeous, thick, cleansing honey, basically. So I don't really fancy reaching for this just on a daily basis to remove my makeup. And also, it's so thickly made of honey that it really leaves a nourishing layer on the skin. And I don't really like my first cleanser to leave a nourishing layer on the skin, because then I'm just going to go in with a second cleanser and cleanse it off. So this to me is more of a mask. And I've been using it when I'm in the bath and I want to take a really long time to cleanse and nourish my face. I'll go in with this. So I've been kind of treating it as a mask, but technically it belongs in the cleansing balm or in the first cleanse category. It's different enough though that I'm keeping all 3 of these. Oh my gosh, here's a product that I've been dying to talk about. Simbri gave this to me as well. It's by Body Mary. It's a retinol surge moisturizer. It is a moisturizer with retinol in it. It's a big hulking bottle, 3.4 fluid ounces. It's totally light and air safe. It pumps out. 1 pump is enough to cover my entire face and neck, and it works like a charm. I noticed a difference in the texture of my skin when I started using this. I started actually at this point maybe months ago. I keep forgetting to talk about it because it went straight into rotation. It's been sitting right on my vanity, and I've been using it at first every other night, and then more like every night as time has gone on. Maybe like 4 or 5 times a week is how frequently I use this. And sometimes I'll use it as my last layer, and sometimes I'll use it and rub it in, and then I'll put a thick layer of something on top of it, but it comes towards the end of my evening routine. It is the retinol of my dreams. It's the one that I want to keep using, and it's only $22. I'm so excited to be able to report back about this. I'm so grateful to Simbri for giving it to me, and I have already recommended it to family members. And some of my family members have already bought it. Like, it's that good, and I feel like retinol is that crucial of an ingredient. I am just over the moon about this one. So I'm glad it's finally in a reckoning. I've kept forgetting to put it back in the purgatory box and put it through a reckoning, even though it's really been months. But it's kind of cool because it means that I've gotten to test it out super, super thoroughly. And I can give you my unhesitating report that this has been a great product for me. It's so exciting to feel a retinol cream that's kind of gentle and easy to use and easy to adjust to, but that actually does make a difference in the texture of my skin. I think especially if you're someone who hasn't ever been using retinol before, and if you're someone who has a very minimal skincare routine and you just want a little bit of retexturization, or you just want to fight the signs of aging a little bit more aggressively, I think with something like this, you will notice a difference. So that is so, so cool. And just the price point. I mean, if I had tried this out and I had been over the moon like I was about it, but it was $100, I would be like, I really want to tell people about it, but I would have been like reluctant, like dragging my feet to report back. But because when I looked it up, I saw that it was so affordable, I've just been like really, really, really excited. Every time I use it, I'm like, I can't wait to tell my subscribers, and then every time I get on camera, I forget. But I finally remembered. So this is a definite keeper, and this is probably one that I will be repurchasing. This is going to be my retinol for the foreseeable future, especially when it comes down to the retinol that I would choose to spend my own money on. I zoomed in a little bit. I hope that that's better. All right, let's talk about masks. So you guys know my position on masks of this kind. I generally don't think that they're a good investment when it comes to skincare. I feel like they're super extra. I think that masks are not the way to have good skin. The way to have good skin is to have a good, solid skincare routine, to put the ingredients that your skin is going to like onto your skin day after day after day. And a mask can be a really fun pick-me-up from time to time, but it's something you just put on your skin for a little while and then take off. It's not the way to have long-lasting effects. However, masks tend to cost as much as the skincare that does maintain the skin. And so the cost-benefit analysis doesn't really work out in their favor. At the end of my no-buy year, when I calculated how much I'd been spending on masks in the preceding years, I was horrified, and I pretty much kicked them out of my routine until they started coming into my routine because I started getting them in PR. When I get them in PR, I love using them, and I love testing them out, and I love reporting back about them, and I feel lucky to have some masks in my arsenal. I feel especially lucky because I don't think I would spend my money on them at this point. Maybe if I had never received a single mask as a gift from a friend or in PR, maybe I would have bought one this year just to have one every once in a while as a pick-me-up. I could have seen myself doing that, but I think that would have been it. I would not have an arsenal of masks, a basket of masks. I wouldn't be masking like this if it was just me and my budget in isolation. But because I've gotten the chance to try these, I can report back to you on them. I am somewhat of an expert in face masks because of my past behavior. So these two from Apto, I really like one and I really dislike the other one. The one that I really dislike is this blue spirulina mask. It is kind of a clay mask and it dries down and then it just is really, really hard to get off. I don't like the smell. I don't like the texture. It almost feels like something went wrong with the batch. It's just not cosmetically elegant, and I'm going to give this away. This one I really like. This is their pomegranate mask grenade. It's kind of like a combination of an exfoliating and a calming mask. I feel like my skin is always very bright and fresh and kind of clean, but also very sleek and calm and unhappy after I mask with this mask. So I'm definitely gonna hang on to this one. I'm really grateful to have had the chance to try this, and I'm glad I got the chance to try Apto again because I disliked this one so very much. Both of these were given to me in some capacity by Apto. So they gave this one to me as PR when I was at the Indie Beauty Expo last year, and then this one was in a gift bag from a party that I went to a couple of weeks ago. This product is from Derma E. Simbri gave this to me, and I generally love Derma E products. I am really impressed by their performance pretty much all across the board. I am actually pretty impressed by the performance of this product. It's just that I can't handle the texture. And again, it's got this like grainy, soupy quality to it. It's a radiance peel mask. And again, this is usually the kind of mask that I really love. I really love masks that make it feel like my skin is being invigorated and brightened and all of the dead stuff on the surface is being sloughed off. And this mask does do that. If I didn't have any other masks, if it was just this one, I'd keep it because I enjoy masking and I enjoy using it, and it's nice to have gotten it as a gift. So it's good enough that I would keep it. But because I'm realizing now that I have like other masks and that I can mask with this one and that I would be choosing this one over this one on every occasion, not necessarily because of performance, but just because of texture, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along to someone else. This is a honey mask. It's the Honey Girl Rejuvenating Mask. It's really interesting, super goopy, thick texture, and it's green, and it feels really crunchy when you use it. It has these like crystals of honey in it. It's a really interesting mask. It's not that pleasant, like it's not that cosmetically elegant to use, but it does feel rejuvenating. It does feel like it's kind of getting in amongst my skin cells and sort of making them excited to do their thing, pumping them up. And my skin does love honey as a mask ingredient. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep slogging through this one, even though the texture is a little bit iffy. I feel like I'm able to handle like a thick, sticky, kind of slightly crunchy, goopy mask better than I'm able to handle like a thin, runny, sort of separated feeling, like eggy mask. So I'm gonna go with this one instead of this one when it comes to choosing between the two that don't have ideal textures. This has been a lot of bath products. Let's see if there's any fun makeup in here. There are these. There are these. I'm so excited to talk about these. So these are the 3 colors of the Fluid Universal Gloss. There's Elysium, Roxy, and Rain. And these were also party favors from a party that I went to, an influencer party. So they were technically PR, but they were PR by way of this party. They are stunning. I'm gonna zoom you in actually. Let me see if I can zoom you in even more. Yeah, because I want you to see this. So this is Elysium right here. This is Rain. And they're both pretty goopy. And then for some reason, Roxy is has a much harder surface. I feel like it might get goopy if I dug into it, but I'm not gonna do that. So the one that I like the most is Elysium because it's like the silver, just like a more neutral silver gloss. Rain has a little bit of a blue shift, and then Roxy has that pinky gold shift. So there's Elysium, Rain, Roxy. I don't know if you can see it really well. The shine is unbelievable. And I've been using mostly this one, mostly Elysium. I've been using it with a brush and mixing it with cream blush. And I think that a bunch of it got in amongst the cream blush brush that I've been using. And every time I've used a cream blush, even if I haven't dipped into this, for the past several days, some of it's been left on the brush and has gotten onto my cheeks. And it's been making my cheeks look really ethereal and glossy and wet. And I've been living for that. And I've never gotten so many comments in my life asking me what's on my cheeks. It's been this mixed with cream blush. The bad news is that they tend not to stay during the day. They really are glosses. They really are just like creams. It's like a pot of like a really sturdy Vaseline type thing mixed with shimmer. And the effect to me is worth it. I think for the time being, I'm going to be very, very naughty and keep them. Well, yeah, okay, so because I am trying to reckon with everything, I'm gonna keep these for now. I'm gonna keep all 3 of them. It might be that some of them, 1 or 2 of them gets decluttered. If I find I'm reaching consistently for only the same one over and over again, I might be willing to give one away, especially if I come across someone who really wants one, etc., etc. But for the time being, I feel like I really haven't lived my life with them, and I would like to have all 3 of them in my arsenal and just see what transpires. So because of the extraordinary circumstances of this final reckoning, I'm going to keep all 3. What I will say though, as my review, is that when I put one of these on my cheeks with a cream blush at the beginning of the day, it looks amazing. And by the end of the day, it usually looks a little bit more dull. And I think that what's going on is it's just wearing off. I think because it doesn't set down, it moves, it gets transferred, it wears off, and it just doesn't have quite that same brilliance by the end of the day. But that's by the end of a long work day. And I don't know if a long work day is necessarily the event to which I will be wanting to wear these all the time. They're amazing for filming. They would be amazing for clubbing or for editorial photo looks. They've been great for the photo shoots. So I'm not against them. I just wanted to let you know that it hasn't been 100% sunshine and roses because of that wear time issue. It's been more like 85% sunshine and roses, but that's a high enough percentage for me to decide to keep all three. I feel like I don't have the grit right now to oust one of them. All right, here are 3 lip products that are still in purgatory. I feel like it's working really well to do things in groups of like products. It's really helping me get through things faster and stay focused. But I can tell you right now, I'm keeping all 3 of these. This one is, I think, the one, well, these I've both really loved, but this one is the one that I'm like really excited about. It's from In Beauty. This was also, all 3 of these actually were party favors from the influencer party that I went to. So In Beauty Lip Glaze #1, it's a lip oil, and it's like this cherry red. It's got a huge juicy doe foot, and it's very, very luscious on the lips. It's hard to tell from the swatch, but it is. And it smells and tastes like cherry Jolly Ranchers. It's just an indulgent, childish joy all around, and I kind of love it. And then this is a huge, chunky chapstick, like a lip treatment from Bella Spirit by Chaz Dean, restorative lip treatment. And I really like having this on my bedside table because I find it so much easier to apply than something that I have to stick my finger into. I've really learned from using this that I much prefer a chapstick or a lip treatment in a stick format. And going forward, I will always gravitate towards stick format lip treatments. And then this is a pot style lip treatment. It's the Wish Vanilla Lip Scrub. I was surprised when I opened it and started using it that it's not very scrubby. It's kind of just a lip treatment or like a lip nourisher. Strangely, I've been keeping it in the shower. I struggle to actually make use of lip scrubs. I tend to just see them there and then not use them, but then my lips do get dry. So I was like, maybe if I put it in the shower and I exfoliate my lips with it every time I'm in the shower, maybe I'll get more use out of it. So I did that, and I have been doing that, and it has worked. I've been using it every time I'm in the shower. It smells really good. It's like a vanilla smell. It's very smoothing, but it's more just like a treatment. It's more like I'm putting on chapstick in the shower with a tiny bit of grit. It's not really a scrubby scrub. So if you're into lip scrubs and you like a scrubby scrub, don't look into this one. It's not that. But I have been impressed by how soft my lips have stayed since I've started using this in the shower and this at night. All right, let's talk about something that I'm not keeping to round it out. This is the JOAH Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation Drop. And I actually really like this. I actually really like it. It's a very, very liquidy foundation. It's a decent match for me. I used it several times for the Poema photo shoots, and there's nothing wrong with it. I like how watery it is. I like it. It's just that I don't need foundation. I just don't need foundation. I feel like for the Poema photo shoots, if I don't have something, I can always just use concealer, and it's only once a week that I have to put on something resembling full coverage. I'm currently testing out the liquid and the powder foundations from Urban Decay, which are actually better color matches for me than this one. In a pinch, I'd keep this around for the photo shoots, but I'm not in a pinch. And I know that complexion products are in the category of things that my cousins will be the most excited to try. And we have similar skin tones, so I currently have the exact right place to put this, which is into one of the gift baskets for one of my cousins. I'm gonna go ahead and do that with it. Okay, so this was an extremely bath and body heavy reckoning if you include face washes, like face cleansers in that category, which I kind of do. And I think that that's the reason that I'm disproportionately keeping so many things, because of what I explained at the beginning about the fact that I'm more likely to keep a skincare product that I'll go through quickly, like a cleanser or an oil cleanser, second cleanser, moisturizer, that type of thing. There is this little group of makeup type things and lip treatments over here that I'm keeping, all because they're just well performing. But some of these cleansers, especially the ones that I'm putting into the backup box to try later, which is not these. So I'm actually going to put this in the backup box too, which means that these are the backup box products. These are the ones going into rotation, and these are the giveaways. And some of these cleansers I'm keeping just because they're so serviceable, unlike some of these makeup-y type products, which I'm keeping because I love them so much. So I think that that's why this reckoning is turning out the way that it is, but I feel proud of myself for letting go of so many cleansers, given that those are things that I traditionally keep for practical reasons. Ah, don't leak. How embarrassing. All right, that is it. That was this third phase of the final reckoning. Looking over at the box, I think I might be able to knock out the rest of it in one more video. That is, if there's nothing else hiding in my house that belongs in purgatory, but we will see. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.